In 2008, the School of Life Sciences at the University of Westminster piloted a new feedback process to encourage students to reflect and act on the feedback they receive. The JISC-funded Making Assessment Count project promotes an ongoing process of self-assessment and dialogue between tutors and students.
We're no different from many other universities in that assessment and feedback on assessment is a key issue. The project is about encouraging our students to be reflective, encouraging deeper learning, and it's part of our wider strategy of encouraging student-centred active learning.
Making Assessment Count's got 3 stages. Stage 1 happens in every university. People mark work and they write comments on the work. Stage 3 is a meeting with a personal tutor, and that happens a lot in most universities. It's the middle bit that's slightly different here, where we're using a little bit of quite simple technology to help the students to reflect and think about the feedback.
What I want to do is use existing technologies in a slightly different way to get staff and students to have a dialogue about assessment and feedback, and then use that dialogue to help the student improve performance. Students complete a very simple online questionnaire. That's about 15 questions, so it takes 2 or 3 minutes, so not very long at all. And this questionnaire really sort of investigates the grade the students got, the time they put it in, what resources they used, how they prepared for it. That will then generate an automatic report that's emailed to the students. They then read that report, fill in a very simple reflective journal. That reflective journal is read by their personal tutor, and the personal tutor then comments on their reflective journal, providing them more of a strategic overview of how they can use their feedbacks that they've received to improve future performance, therefore providing an overarching strategy throughout the entire academic process.
Students already in our preliminary evaluations are telling us that they find it very useful. They almost automatically reflect on it. And the other big advantage of the learning journal for them is that it's an opportunity for them to write down some action points which they can then share with their tutor. It is using technology to make very precious face-to-face time much more valuable for both student and member of staff.
I've been able to get a lot of feedback from the entries you put into your learning journals. Many of you appear to have some problems in identifying. Quite often I can identify common themes running through all of their learning journals, and then this helps me to be able to then tailor tutorials to be able to support their learning. Now students are starting to use their feedback more effectively. We're going to be spending less time giving repetitive feedback.
With face-to-face feedback, sometimes you get the feeling you know where you went wrong, but you don't. With the e-reflect, it actually breaks it down and it makes you think about where you went wrong. So yeah, definitely really useful.
6 months.
One of the big things I found was really helpful was getting both the staff and students involved right at the beginning. By sharing that ownership, that was very powerful.
In my first year, this project was piloted, and it was my personal tutor, Mark Kerrigan, who decided to involve me in the steering committee. The difference in feedback between A-levels and university is quite a big jump, and I thought that this kind of system could really help make them think more critically about themselves, and then also to help lecturers give a little bit more help to people that needed it.
We did some video feedback, so actually recorded students, and we played that back to staff, so staff could actually see how the students feel about their feedback. And they commented on staff handwriting, for example. By opening this dialogue between staff and students and just thinking about assessment feedback, it really has begun to change the way we deliver feedback and support our students.
Critical to the process is getting students to engage with their feedback and ensuring that those leading the project gain enough evidence to promote this system to other schools in the university as well as to other institutions.
We've actually tried to encourage the students by making one piece of assessment actually have some marks allocated towards that, just to encourage the students to get involved. What we found was just by making them do one piece of coursework, then they actually went on to do the process for many other pieces of coursework. So once they see the benefits, then it becomes self-sustaining.
The pilot started with a smallish group of about 40 students. It's now 400 students. It's all of the undergraduates in life sciences. And we've now got quite a bit of enthusiasm from the School of Social Sciences, Humanities and Languages.
We chose technology that could be easily replicated across the entire university. So I'm fairly confident that yes, it is going to distill through and continue in other schools here, and then hopefully move outside the institution to other universities as well. It should be good. I'm quite excited about that.
It's just fast, it's instant, it's there, it's easy to use, and it gives you something useful, which I think is what all students and all staff want out of technology.